The tables have turned in the Nygard controversy as names are called in Parliament. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley. Topping the news tonight, a cabinet minister took to the floor criticizing the well-known environmental group, which has been described as a political party in disguise. He named operatives in that group, including a sitting senator, saying the primary aim of the group is to dismantle the current administration and sully the name of the Progressive Liberal Party. Our Janae Noel Ferguson has details.
I guess he thought he was digging our grave, but in his rush, Mr. Speaker, as time will go on, we will see that in fact he dug his own grave, Mr. Speaker.
Describing it as the great Bahamian hustle that could one day be made into a movie. Marathon MP and Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald said when opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis sought to support allegations made against members of the PLP and their alleged involvement in the Nygard controversy, they did not know how the matter would turn out. Fitzgerald laid out what he called a sinister plot by a well-known environmental group that was also intricately linked to F&M Senator and Chairman Michael Pintard. The hustle, he said, was meant to trap Peter Nygard to agree to hire known criminals to carry out illegal acts. The problem, he said, was that Nygard did not agree. He said the group then attempted to link Nygard to the PLP for his financial contributions based on a promise that he would get certain permits. Fitzgerald said the problem with that was that the permits were never granted. He said the operatives then tied the government's involvement with Nygard to stem cell research, but he said that did not work either, as Nygard has never put forth an application. Now, by that time, the Marathon MP said the plan then began to crack. Bahamians, he said, were also involved, making thousands.
Chairman of the Free National Movement, who we know has admitted to being paid handsomely. The information we have is well over $100,000, 6 figures. He was involved in the hustle.
Now, according to Fitzgerald, an F&M candidate is also allegedly paid handsomely for his involvement. F&M leader Dr. Hubert Minnis sought to clarify.
The chairman has admitted that he was like independent citizens employed by a particular agency for which he would have been receiving salaries like any other independent or private citizen. That salary we would not know.
Now Fitzgerald concluded that the environmental organization was calculating their moves through ad campaigns. He also read emails allegedly communicated among prominent advocates of human rights and environmental groups.
This is to destabilize the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Mr. Speaker.
Now, when all is said and done, Fitzgerald declared that he will be satisfied of two things.
Not one single member of the PLP is involved with regard to this matter, this Bahamian hustle. I am absolutely sure about, Mr. Speaker, is that there are certain members in the F&M who mix right up in it. They tangle right up in it. They can't get out of it, Mr. Speaker.
Now the government plans to work with the IRS in relation to this matter, as tax-exempt funds were used to push the environmental group's agenda. Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Fox Hill MP, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, calling for a committee of privilege to investigate the affidavits presented by Andre Rollins last evening in the House of Assembly. The documents, which sparked a heated debate in the House this morning, are affidavits which purportedly clear Nygard of any wrongdoing and dismiss claims against the Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis. Mitchell had documentation of his own, which he presented, and said he felt the committee was the only way to get a resolution.
A number of people who are connected with all of these events, and you have to ask yourself whether or not money from some undisclosed source is not acting to destabilize the good governance of the country. And I don't know what other mechanism we have available save for a select committee, which I'm not minded at this point, in which the cabinet would have to agree to get to the bottom of this matter.
Now, the Fort Charlotte MP, Dr. Andre Rollins, was adamant that Mitchell was calling for a committee of privilege, saying the matter will not be addressed.
A request for the convening of the committee of privilege is merely an attempt to bury or to kill what is an attempt to elucidate this issue, to deepen this democracy, and allow this matter to be aired and ventilated. But if you ask for a committee on privilege, the member full well knows that the next election will be called and that committee will not have issued any conclusion to the satisfaction of this House or the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
House Speaker Dr. Kendall Major has deferred his decision on whether he would allow documents by Rollins and Mitchell in the Nygard saga to remain on public record. Despite challenges on his ruling to delay, the Speaker said he will decide at the next best opportunity.
The Chair did ask that it be brought up. It was the intention, honest intention of the Chair to lie on the table. Yes, it was. But because of the overwhelming uncertainty and the swirling around it, the document, and the challenges, and the fact that it is sub judice, and there are other documents out there that's unverified, and the association that it brings for certain individuals, for individuals in and out of this place, the Chair thought it prudent to withhold the document at this time. These documents will be tabled, both. There's no question about that. These are not to be held by this Chair. They will be tabled. The question is, the Chair needs to do its own due diligence